Hey there everyone! On July 14th, 2016, Nintendo announced a new system, but not exactly the one we've been waiting for. The system revealed, the NES Classic console, or the NES Mini as most people are calling it, is a flashback style system similar to ones released for the Atari 2600, Intellivision, and Sega Genesis. It contains 30 games, including some of the most popular and well-known games from the NES library, HDMI output, and a classic-style NES controller, which you will also be able to use with the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console and eShop games respectively. At this point, it seems that though this is being well received, but some have expressed varying levels of disinterest for varying reasons. Today I just wanted to talk about some of the complaints I've heard and read, and then about what I'd love to see from the system as far as features and future versions. Many of the complaints I've seen have to do with already owning many of the games listed, whether they're original games, Virtual Console or eShop downloads, or through emulators. The thing to understand is that if you're a collector, or at least a long-time and current fan of classic games, these issues pertain to you specifically, but not the general public. Retro gaming is still kind of a niche hobby, so the fact is most people, even those active in the gaming community, don't own or care to own many of these games due to things like cost and space limitations. At a cost of $2 a game, the chance to affordably relive their childhood is something many people would absolutely love to have. Personally, I'd love to see these sell well and see a new generation of kids get to experience the same games that gave me so many great memories. The other gripe I seem to be encountering is the choice of games. While many of the most well-known games are on there, such as Metroid, Super Mario 1, 2, and 3, and Zelda 1 and 2, there were also many left out, such as Tetris, Contra, and while Mega Man 2 will be included, the other 5 NES titles will not be. While I agree that there are many titles that I would love to have seen, it's hard for me not to focus more on the games that are included. With many of these games providing hours of enjoyment each, I'm having a hard time caring about missing certain games, considering what I see as the very affordable price tag. I do admit, however, that I'm hoping for some kind of internet accessibility that will allow me to add games through either the eShop or through future downloadable game bundles exclusive to the system. The ability to expand the library contained in the Mini could make this the ultimate way to play NES games. As for the future of the system, besides an expandable library, what I'd love to see happen is similar versions for the Super Nintendo and N64. I'm pretty sure we can all think of 20 or 30 games for the Super Nintendo we'd pay $60 for, and while the N64 isn't a system I've played a lot, the games I did play hold fond memories as well. Lastly, I'm curious to see whether this and future versions will affect pricing of physical copies from a collecting standpoint. Many factors can affect prices for retro games, one of which is availability to play. Games like Panzer Dragoon Saga fetch a high price not only because of rarity, but also due to the fact that if you want to play it, you pretty much have to buy it physically. Being able to play the game through download from official means like licensed online stores sometimes makes physical copies less desirable, which lowers price. I'm wondering if this system will have a similar effect. Again, it's just a curiosity, but as a collector, it's a strong one. All these complaints and hopes aside, I'm happy to see the games I loved and still love being reborn in an officially licensed product, and am more excited than I probably should be at the idea of this only being the beginning. I sincerely hope the NES Mini does well and paves the way not only for future versions of different Nintendo systems, but for other systems as well, because a TurboGrafx Mini or a Sega licensed Genesis Mini would be simply fantastic. I'd like to thank you all for listening to my little ramble. Let me know in the comments what you think of the NES Mini. Does it seem like a waste of money, or are you hoping to see one under your Christmas tree this year? Either way, I wish you all happy days and happy gaming.